The sky darkens with a sudden fury. Clouds, swollen and brooding, stretch across the horizon, blotting out the sun. Thunder grumbles in the distance, a warning, a promise, a heartbeat of the coming storm. The first drops fall, tentative, hesitant, then with growing insistence, drumming on the emerald canopy above. Leaves shiver, streams form from the converging rivulets, and the air thickens with a scent that is both earthy and electric. Rain hammers the jungle floor, carving miniature rivers through the undergrowth. Every blade of grass, every fern, every twisted root glistens with a fresh coat of water. Insects rise from the leaf litter, and the air vibrates with 1,000 tiny wings. A sudden splash in the distance, a startled deer leaps through the shallow puddles, hooves sending droplets flying like liquid diamonds. The jungle, once a quiet green labyrinth, becomes alive, thrumming with energy, chaos and opportunity. From the shadows, movement stirs. A sleek, striped form emerges, muscles rippling under a coat darkened by the rain. The Bengal tiger, solitary and silent, moves with a predatory grace, eyes burning like molten amber through the downpour. Every step is deliberate, cautious, yet filled with a raw, untamed power. Around it, smaller creatures scatter, sensing both the threat and the awakening of life that the monsoon brings. Birds explode into the sky, wings beating furiously against the storm's assault. Monkeys call to one another from the trembling branches, chattering in anxious choruses as their canopy home shivers under the weight of the rain. Waterfalls, long dormant, roar to life, their foamy torrents carving new paths through the dense undergrowth. The jungle becomes a symphony of sound, the thunder of rain, the crash of water, the cries of wildlife, all blending into a rhythm as old as the land itself. Elephants wade through newly swollen streams, trunks lifted high, sending arcs of water skyward. Their massive feet sink into the soft, rain-saturated earth, leaving impressions that will guide tigers and other predators alike. In the distance, a herd moves slowly, aware of the hidden eyes that track every ripple, every movement. Predators and prey alike navigate a world transformed, a living, breathing organism, pulsing with life under the monsoon's command. And then in the midst of this untamed chaos, a calm emerges, a quiet respect for the order hidden within the storm. The rain eases, mist rises from the jungle floor, and the shapes of wildlife begin to take form amidst the shrouded greenery. The pulse of life has quickened, the jungle has awakened, and a new day begins. Welcome to the jungles of India, where life awakens with the monsoon. The jungle breathes under a steady curtain of rain. Mist curls between the towering trunks, and the air hangs heavy with moisture, a damp cloak that muffles sound and sharpens scent. In this world of shadow and shimmer, predators stir, sensing opportunity and risk alike. The Bengal tiger, sovereign of the monsoon-soaked undergrowth, moves silently, a ripple of power concealed beneath the dense foliage. Its paws sink into soft mud, leaving fleeting impressions that vanish as quickly as they are made, hidden by the steady drizzle and the restless watercourses. Eyes like molten amber scan the forest floor, capturing movement in fractions of a second. A startled sambar deer freezes mid-step, ears pricked, nostrils flaring, its muscles tense, heart thrumming, yet the tiger remains unseen, a shadow among shadows. Every step is calculated. The faint splash of water beneath a paw, the ripple in a puddle, the crack of a twig, these are both danger and opportunity. Rain muffles sound, allowing the hunter to approach with an almost supernatural stealth. Here in the monsoon, survival is a game played in whispers, glances, and the subtlest of movements. Beyond the tiger's realm, other predators carve out their own niches. Sloth bears trundle through the mud, snouts buried in termite mounds, claws scraping for sustenance. Yet even they must navigate carefully, avoiding territories claimed by the stealthy tiger. Flooded trails channel their movement, creating a network of corridors through which prey and predator alike navigate this saturated world. Leopards, lithe and deliberate, leap between fallen trunks, stalking smaller mammals and birds flushed from the underbrush by the relentless rainfall. Their eyes gleam in the filtered light, amber orbs tracking shadows, reflexes honed to perfection in this ever-changing theatre of water and growth. Monsoon rains alter the rules of engagement. The scent trails of prey are washed clean, forcing hunters to rely on instinct, patience, and acute observation. Tigers favor hunting near rivers and streams, where the tangle of water and vegetation conceals their approach. Leopards adapt, striking from elevated perches or following hidden rivulets that channel unsuspecting prey into narrow paths. Even the smallest predators, snakes and birds of prey, adjust their tactics, exploiting the flood of insects, amphibians and rodents stirred into frenzy by the rain. Amidst this predator-prey ballet, life thrives in abundance. Insects swarm above puddles, dragonflies flickering like shards of living glass. Frogs erupt in chorus, voices layered in complex rhythms that echo through the forest. Birds, from crimson minivets to stately hornbills, flit through the canopy, calling, hunting and nesting amidst the wet leaves. Each movement, each sound, is a thread in the intricate web of monsoon survival. The jungle is not merely a backdrop, it is an active participant, shaping strategy, movement and fate. Close-ups reveal the intensity of the hunt, a tiger's paw pressing into the thick mud, claws extended, water spraying outward as it pivots silently. Eyes lock onto movement, a fleeing boar, a bird startled into flight. Every muscle flexes in anticipation. Rain beads on fur, slides down whiskers and drips from ears as the predator pounces. The prey reacts, a sudden dash, a leap, a desperate zigzag through roots and streams. Survival is measured in heartbeats, in inches, in the raw immediacy of the chase. But for all its drama, the rain softens the jungle, erasing tracks, replenishing the undergrowth and balancing power. Prey species adapt. Sambar deer move with heightened awareness, chital herd closer to streams, langurs remain vigilant in the canopy. Even a fleeting opportunity missed teaches caution, survival skills honed by each encounter. Predators, in turn, learn the nuances of water-slicked terrain, the subtle signs of hidden prey, and the rhythm of the monsoon itself. As the storm slows and mist rises, the jungle's complex hierarchy becomes visible from above. Tigers, leopards, and bears occupy overlapping spaces, their movements orchestrated by instinct, hunger, and opportunity. Birds, insects, and amphibians surge with renewed vigor, feeding and mating, ensuring the continuity of life. Every encounter, every chase, every narrow escape reveals a single truth. The jungle is an interconnected organism, a living mosaic of survival, adaptation, and raw beauty. From this vantage, the rainforest is more than a setting. It is a symphony of life, where predator and prey dance in perpetual tension, and the monsoon is both a threat and a blessing. Here, under the relentless rain, every life is measured, every instinct sharpened, and the pulse of the jungle beats louder than ever. Rain has transformed the jungle into a living, breathing masterpiece. Streams that once whispered now swell into rushing ribbons, carving paths through the dense undergrowth. Waterfalls, long dormant during the dry season, thunder from cliff faces sending clouds of mist swirling into the canopy. Rivers overflow their banks, forming shallow lagoons where fish dart beneath the surface, their silvery scales catching the muted light. Each drop of rain reflects life, a mirror of the energy pulsing through this verdant world. The forest itself responds to the monsoon's command. Orchids open in vibrant bursts of color, clinging to moss-laden branches. Ferns unfurl, delicate fronds dripping with rainwater that sparkles in sunlit gaps above. Vines hang heavy, weighted by droplets that occasionally fall in slow crystalline arcs, striking the jungle floor with soft, hypnotic rhythm. The air is thick with humidity, rich with the scent of wet earth, blooming flowers, and the faint musk of hidden creatures. Every leaf, root, and branch is alive, shimmering with the intensity of the season. Life surges in every corner. Amphibians leap from leaf to leaf, filling the jungle with a chorus of croaks, clicks, and trills. Fish spawn in the newly formed pools, their movements sending ripples across mirrored surfaces. Monkeys swing with ease through the slick branches, their agile bodies weaving a living tapestry against the backdrop of emerald foliage. Even the tiniest insects, awakened by the rain, contribute to the symphony. Dragonflies hover over puddles, bees flit between blossoms, and ants traverse newly formed rivulets in organized columns, carrying sustenance back to hidden colonies. Along the riverbanks, tiger cubs tumble and chase one another, their playful roars echoing faintly across the wet terrain. Mud clings to their fur as they pounce on each other, learning strength, balance, and coordination under the watchful eyes of their mothers. Nearby, older tigers patrol their territories, moving like shadows through the rain-slick undergrowth, muscles rippling beneath darkened coats. Each step leaves a temporary mark in the soft mud, a fleeting testament to their dominion in a jungle constantly reshaped by water. Predators, prey, and the environment exist in a delicate balance. The rain replenishes vegetation, providing sustenance for herbivores whose grazing shapes the forest floor. Streams attract animals from the surrounding terrain, creating temporary gathering spots that ripple with life and conflict. Birds, amphibians, and mammals converge, their paths intersecting in a network dictated by both instinct and necessity. The jungle becomes a stage for constant adaptation, teaching each species to move with patience, awareness, and reverence for the forces that shape their home. Every visual is a brushstroke, each movement a note in the jungle's grand composition. The thunder of waterfalls and the gurgle of swollen streams set rhythm. The vivid colors of orchids and ferns provide contrast. The darting fish, leaping frogs, and swinging monkeys add motion and texture. Even the playful tigers, the quiet patrols of the adults, and the hidden predators contribute to a rich, dynamic tableau portraying survival, growth, and the beauty of adaptation in a monsoon-drenched paradise. As the jungle pulses with renewed life, water becomes both sculptor and sustainer, reshaping habitats and forcing movement. Pools, streams, and flooded plains act as corridors, guiding the migrations of deer, wild boar, and elephants, while predators follow the shifting abundance. The scene closes with a wide view of this intricate, interdependent ecosystem, lush, vibrant, and alive, ready to transition into the seasonal migrations and survival strategies that the monsoon demands. Beneath the canopy, where shafts of sunlight pierce the dense monsoon mist, a world teeming with miniature life unfolds. Frogs emerge from hidden pools, bodies slick and glistening, their throats inflating in chorus as if announcing the arrival of the rains. Each croak overlaps with another, creating a layered symphony that reverberates through the jungle floor. Cicadas join in, their shrill, rhythmic calls cutting through the humidity, adding sharp, urgent punctuation to the amphibian chorus. Dragonflies flicker above the water, wings beating in rapid arcs that catch the scattered light, refracting it into tiny prisms. They hover, dart, and pivot with almost mechanical precision, hunting mosquitoes and other insects stirred into activity by the rain. Their presence is fleeting yet vital, a flash of color and movement that sustains the delicate balance of the jungle's lower tiers. Even the smallest ants navigate newly formed rivulets, carrying morsels back to hidden colonies, a testament to industriousness and survival under the monsoon's ceaseless influence. Above them, the birds dominate the arboreal stage. Kingfishers perch along swollen streams, beaks poised, eyes scanning the water for glinting scales beneath the surface. Hornbills, with their striking casques, call to one another from the high branches, their vocalizations echoing across the forest. Egrets probe shallow pools with delicate, precise movements, sifting through mud and water for fish and amphibians disturbed by the torrential rain. Some display courtship rituals, the flutter of feathers, the tilt of heads, a choreography perfected over generations, all performed amidst the rhythm of the monsoon. Insects have claimed the canopy as their own. Beetles crawl along branches glistening with rain, spiders spin gossamer webs heavy with droplets, and bees flit tirelessly from blossom to blossom, pollinating orchids that have awakened under the monsoon's command. Their abundance forms the foundation of an intricate food web. Reptiles, small snakes, lizards, and geckos move carefully among leaves and branches, hunting with precision. Amphibians leap into waiting jaws, insects become a feast for birds, and each layer of life interconnects in subtle, vital ways. Every movement, no matter how tiny, shapes the larger ecosystem. A frog's leap might signal to a tiger lurking nearby where prey gathers. The flash of a dragonfly's iridescent wings may alert a kingfisher or a monitor lizard. In the monsoon jungle, even the smallest creatures carry significance, threading the web that sustains larger predators. Their activity ensures that when the tiger prowls or the leopard stalks, abundance lies just beneath the surface, invisible yet essential. From the micro to the macro, the monsoon orchestrates life in the jungle. Every ripple, flutter, and croak contributes to the rhythm of survival. Insects, birds, and amphibians, often overlooked yet indispensable, prepare the stage for the larger players, shaping the flow of energy that will sustain the jungle through rain, flood, and sun. As the monsoon swells the rivers and saturates the soil, the jungle shifts. Paths once dry and predictable vanish beneath torrents of water, forcing every creature to adjust, to move, to survive. The seasonal rains dictate the rhythm of life, and the great migrations begin. Herds of chital and sambar traverse the jungle floor, noses to the ground, ears twitching at the slightest rustle. Their movements are purposeful, drawn to new grazing grounds where grass is fresh and tender, nourished by the relentless rain. Nilgai emerge from shadowed clearings, their long limbs carrying them with surprising agility across muddy terrain, each step leaving prints that will guide hunters long after they pass. Elephants, ancient and knowing, move in family units, a symphony of motion and memory. Mothers guide calves through shallow rivers, trunks raised to smell the air and gauge depth, ears flapping to regulate body heat under the humidity. Bulls follow at the rear, powerful and vigilant, their eyes scanning for danger and opportunity alike. Flooded plains become temporary havens, rich in nutrients stirred from the soil. Grass grows denser, pools harbour fish and amphibians, and the jungle teems with life wherever the elephants wander. Water becomes both barrier and bridge. A swollen river may halt some, yet channel others along predictable routes, creating natural highways across the jungle. Predators move with equal purpose. Tigers patrol the muddy banks, following the trails left by fleeing herbivores. Their muscles ripple beneath wet fur, paws sinking into soft earth as they navigate the waterlogged terrain. Leopards exploit fallen trees, bridging streams, stalking monkeys or birds drawn to the new abundance. Even the smaller predators, wild dogs, jackals and monitor lizards, shift their hunting grounds, tracking the seasonal surge of prey. The rains, though nurturing, amplify risk. Muddy banks conceal hidden routes, swollen streams carry predators away, and every leap or sprint is a calculated gamble. From above, the migrations reveal themselves as a living mosaic. Drone shots capture the sweeping elegance of chital herds moving like liquid gold through the greenery. Elephants appear as colossal shadows among rivulets and meadows, trunks swaying rhythmically, water cascading from their flanks. The jungle is no longer a static backdrop. It is a stage of ceaseless motion, an organism reacting to the pulse of rainfall. Every puddle, every rivulet, every temporary pool influences where life gathers, who survives and who must adapt. Along these corridors of water and grass, survival is a story of anticipation. Young deer learn to read the subtle cues of danger, broken twigs, the distant splash of a predator entering the water, the whisper of wings in the canopy. Elephants teach calves to navigate the rivers safely, to avoid hidden holes, to respect the power of flowing water. Tigers, solitary and deliberate, sense these lessons indirectly, reading the shifts in scent, the impressions in mud, and the patterns of movement that dictate opportunity. The monsoon creates both abundance and challenge. Flooded plains bring rich feeding grounds for herbivores, yet also concentrate prey, drawing predators into tense encounters. Each step of a migrating herd becomes a potential spectacle of life and death, a delicate choreography where instincts and experience dictate outcomes. The jungle thrives on this rhythm. Water dictates movement, movement dictates feeding, feeding dictates hunting, and the cycle renews with each falling raindrop. As the herds push forward, rivers swell and predators follow trails. A tension simmers beneath the surface of this wet paradise. The jungle is alive with possibility and danger alike. Each migration sets the stage for the confrontations, territorial battles, and courtship rituals that follow, the next chapter in the ongoing saga of survival. Here, in the monsoon's embrace, life moves, flowing, surging, and pulsing with the unstoppable energy of nature itself. The monsoon-saturated jungle pulses not only with life, but with tension. Mist curls along the forest floor as a deep, resonant roar shatters the relative calm, a male Bengal tiger staking claim over a sprawling territory. His call echoes through the heavy, humid air, reverberating against trunks and boulders, announcing dominance to rivals hidden in the undergrowth. Each scrape of claws on bark, each spray of scent marks on tree and stone, signals a presence both feared and respected. The jungle is a chessboard of scent and sound, where a misstep can invite conflict and survival hangs in the balance. Female tigers, guarding their cubs, tread with caution. Mothers weave through dense ferns and mossy logs, eyes scanning the shadows, ears tuned to the faintest rustle of leaves or drip of water. Their cubs tumble along the riverbanks, learning stealth and strength in play. A playful swipe at a sibling teaches patience. A sudden stop in the game sharpens instincts. The monsoon amplifies danger, water channels restrict movement, flooded paths leave fewer escape routes, and overlapping territories bring predators into close, tense proximity. Courtship in the monsoon jungle is no less dramatic. Tigers circle each other with deliberate precision, muscles taut, eyes locked. A male approaches a receptive female cautiously, his movements calculated to convey strength without aggression. Vibrations ripple through the earth, sensed by both. Subtle growls and head movements communicate intent, readiness, and warning. Leopards, smaller and more elusive, employ similar rituals. Silent stalking, head tilts, and low vocalizations form a language of attraction and dominance. Even jungle cats, tiny and secretive, follow patterns of ritualized gestures, mating dances, and scent marking that reflect the pulse of life itself. Conflicts escalate when the monsoon concentrates both resources and competitors. Flooded territories force rival males into narrow corridors along rivers, where confrontations are inevitable. Muscles coil, claws extend, and eyes flare with intensity. Every roar, every swipe, every leap is measured against both power and precision. Occasionally, a brief scuffle is enough to assert dominance. Sometimes a full-scale battle erupts, leaving scars in fur, earth, and the memory of the jungle itself. These conflicts are survival lessons, shaping the hierarchy of the rainforest and ensuring that only the most agile, strong, and cunning prevail. Mother tigers teach subtle lessons of strategy, caution, and patience. Cubs learn to navigate muddy banks, to sense hidden dangers in puddles, and to read the tension in the air as their mother moves through contested spaces. Monsoon rains flood familiar paths, forcing improvisation. The young absorb these lessons, preparing for the day when territory, survival, and reproduction will depend on their own skill and instincts. From a wider perspective, the jungle itself adapts to these tensions. Overlapping territories, shifting watercourses, and temporary feeding grounds create a dynamic ecosystem where every species negotiates boundaries, physical, chemical, and behavioral. Even the smallest creatures, birds, insects, and amphibians respond to these dramas, retreating, advancing, or signaling danger in ways imperceptible to human eyes. Life pulses with a resilience that is equal parts elegance and ruthlessness, choreographed by instinct and circumstance. As the rains continue to fall, the monsoon jungle reveals the delicate balance of its politics. Dominance, attraction, protection, and survival intertwined with the rhythms of water and growth. Conflict shapes experience. Courtship ensures continuity, and every roar, chase, and gentle nuzzle writes another chapter in the epic narrative of the wilderness. From above, the tangled dance of predator, prey, and environment forms a living tableau, a testament to both resilience and interdependence. The jungle, in all its splendor, danger, and vitality, stands as a complex arena where every creature plays its role, and the monsoon, relentless and transformative, dictates the tempo of life itself. The monsoon transforms rivers into arteries of life, swelling channels that pulse with energy and danger. Water roars over rocky beds, carving new pathways through the jungle, creating pools and eddies where life thrives in unexpected abundance. Here, the boundaries between land and water blur, and survival demands skill, instinct, and adaptability. Beneath the churning surface, crocodiles glide with silent menace. Their armored backs ripple like moving islands, eyes barely visible above the water. They wait, patience etched into every scale, watching for unsuspecting prey at the river's edge. When a sambar or nilgai approaches too close, a sudden lunge, a flash of teeth, and the jungle's raw predatory power is displayed in a single, decisive moment. Even in the rain-swollen waters, the apex predator rules, teaching all who witness that the river is both sanctuary and trap. Smaller hunters navigate these watery realms with agility and precision. Fishing cats prowl along the muddy banks, toes splayed, whiskers twitching at the slightest ripple. Otters, sleek and playful, weave through channels, chasing fish with acrobatic grace. Every dive, every flick of the tail is a lesson in efficiency and survival, a delicate dance dictated by the monsoon's pulse. Even tiny frogs and insects become vital threads in this aquatic web, providing sustenance for birds and mammals alike. The skies above the rivers are alive with winged predators. Storks and herons stalk shallow pools, beaks probing the water with perfect timing. Kingfishers flash like living jewels, diving with astonishing precision, emerging with a wriggling fish clasped firmly in their beaks. Egrets step cautiously through the shallows, wings half spread for balance, eyes scanning for movement. Every bird adapts to the swollen rivers, learning to read the turbulence, anticipate prey, and navigate the monsoon's dynamic waters. Along the riverbanks, tiger cubs learn essential lessons. Mothers wade into waist-deep water, encouraging hesitant cubs to follow. Small paws slap against the surface, fur clinging wetly, ears flattened against the spray. Each hesitant plunge is met with guidance, growls of encouragement and patient teaching. Swimming is more than a skill, it is survival. The jungle's shifting waters demand it, and the cubs' playful splashes are the first steps toward mastery of their watery domain. Rivers, pools, and wetlands are not mere backdrops, they shape the jungle itself. Seasonal floods create temporary refuges, concentrate prey, and dictate the movement of predators and herbivores alike. Channels act as natural highways, corridors linking distant habitats, while isolated pools become miniature ecosystems teeming with amphibians, insects, and fish. Life in and around water is relentless, intricate, and symphonic, a convergence of predator, prey, and environment orchestrated by the monsoon. From the perspective of the canopy, the rivers gleam like silver ribbons threading through emerald expanses. Below, aquatic hunters and their prey negotiate the balance between risk and reward. Above, the jungle canopy shelters birds, monkeys, and leopards, watching, calling, and hunting in the filtered light. The monsoon unites river and forest, aquatic and arboreal life, into a single, vibrant, ever-changing canvas. As the water pulses through the heart of the jungle, life adapts, thrives, and prepares for the next challenge. From crocodile ambushes to tiger lessons in swimming, the rivers of India are living classrooms of survival, teaching all who depend on them that in these water worlds, every drop of rain carries the promise and peril of life itself. Above the swollen jungle floor, the canopy thrives as a parallel world. Sunlight filtered through glistening leaves, branches heavy with rainwater, and life teeming in every nook and crevice. Macaques move with practiced ease, leaping between branches in fluid arcs, tails balancing their every maneuver. They chatter, groom, and forage, each action punctuated by the rhythmic drum of raindrops against the leaves. Langurs, long-limbed and agile, swing effortlessly through the canopy, scanning the forest below for fruit, insects, or signs of danger, their silvery coats glinting in the soft monsoon light. Birds dominate the vertical landscape. Raptors circle high above, wings cutting through misty currents, eyes locked on movement below. Eagles and hawks dive with astonishing precision, talons extended, targeting small mammals or unsuspecting reptiles hidden among the branches. Hornbills and parakeets flit between flowering trees, their calls echoing like bells through the humid air, signaling territory, courtship, or warning of predators lurking unseen. Even tiny forest birds, the drongos, kingfishers, and sunbirds, move with hyper-awareness, taking advantage of the monsoon's bounty while avoiding the attention of larger hunters. Predators, too, have mastered the vertical realm. Tree snakes coil along wet branches, muscles rippling as they strike at frogs or birds. Small wild cats, including leopards, tread silently along sturdy limbs, their keen eyes tracking movements far below. The rain-slick canopy is both a hunting ground and a maze, requiring precision, patience, and instinct. Each leap, each glide, each careful placement of a paw or claw is a negotiation with gravity, moisture, and the ever-present threat of rival predators. The aerial perspective reveals the jungle's full complexity. Sunlight glimmers off the wet leaves, water dripping from vines into the rivers below. Monkeys swing in unison, birds dart and dive, and predators navigate this elevated labyrinth with lethal efficiency. The canopy is a universe of its own, yet inextricably linked to the world beneath. What happens above echoes below. Fruit falls to feed herbivores. Bird droppings scatter seeds, and predators descend when opportunity arises, bridging the vertical divide. As the monsoon continues, the canopy hums with energy, a parallel life that complements the chaos and beauty of the jungle floor. Eventually, gravity draws our gaze downward once more, where tigers, elephants, and the myriad denizens of the ground navigate rivers, mud, and flooded plains. The lessons learned in the trees, agility, patience, and awareness, resonate through the jungle, preparing all creatures, great and small, for survival under the relentless monsoon. The monsoon transforms the jungle into a theater of stealth, power, and relentless survival. Among all its inhabitants, the Bengal tiger reigns supreme, a shadow moving through rain-drenched foliage, muscles coiled beneath wet fur, eyes gleaming with primal intensity. Each droplet cascading from the canopy above becomes both camouflage and obstacle, masking scent, muffling sound, and sculpting a jungle alive with tension. Tigers stalk with patience born of generations, moving slowly through mud and flooded undergrowth. Paws sink into the soft earth, claws pressing lightly, leaving shallow impressions that vanish under the next passing torrent. The wet vegetation clings to their bodies, soundless, yet full of potential energy. Their amber eyes scan every movement, every ripple in water, every subtle shift of leaves as prey ventures too close. A chital grazes unaware in a temporary clearing, its ears flicking nervously, tail twitching, but it has not yet detected the predator crouched just beyond the veil of rain. Hunting in the monsoon demands ingenuity. Tigers use water channels to mask movement, slipping silently through shallow pools. Vegetation becomes a tool, a vine to obscure the shoulder, a fern to hide a paw's approach. When the moment arrives, speed and precision replace patience. A low growl vibrates through the mist as muscles coil. The leap is sudden, explosive. Mud sprays, water droplets arc through the air, and the chital's startled cry pierces the rhythm of the rain. The hunt ends with calculated efficiency, a bite to the neck, a struggle brief yet decisive. Survival is brutal, immediate and instructive. Cubs observe from the periphery, wide-eyed and eager. Their playful swipes and stumbles along the riverbank are the first steps in a life of hunting mastery. Mothers allow them glimpses of strategy, how to read movement in water, how to anticipate the path of fleeing prey, how to strike with lethal precision. Each lesson is reinforced by demonstration. A successful stalk, a calculated ambush, the quiet ritual of feeding. Rain-soaked fur gleams in muted sunlight as cubs learn not merely to survive, but to thrive in the monsoon's intensity. The jungle is not a stage for solitary dominance alone. Leopards navigate flooded branches, slipping silently above or alongside tigers, sharing the same prey-rich corridors while maintaining distance and respect. Dholes move in coordinated packs, eyes bright, fangs bared, chasing opportunistic prey that the monsoon concentrates in temporary plains and riverbanks. Hyenas lurk at the edges, scavenging what the rain and predators leave behind, always alert, always calculating. Every interaction is a lesson in negotiation, in strategy, in survival. A predator must respect both environment and competitor, for miscalculation can be fatal. Rain amplifies every detail. Water splashes under massive paws, whiskers drip, and fur glistens with moisture. Eyes reflect both the environment and intent, capturing the kaleidoscope of the jungle in amber intensity. Low-angle shots show tigers moving through knee-deep rivulets, water surging around their limbs. Slow-motion sequences capture the snap of jaws, the flex of muscles, the spray of mud and rain, every moment a study in power and elegance. Above, birds freeze in place, sensing the hunt below. Insects scatter, forming a living veil of movement that adds depth to the predator's approach. Yet even the apex predator relies on the ecosystem's balance. The monsoon's abundance concentrates prey, but also provides cover and sustenance for smaller hunters, herbivores, and birds. Each kill is a link in a chain that sustains cubs, adults, and scavengers alike. Tigers navigate this network with instinct honed by rain, mud, and muscle memory, demonstrating the jungle's intricate dance between stealth, patience, and opportunity. The monsoon teaches resilience. Tigers adjust hunting times to the patterns of rain and water flow, sometimes striking at dawn, other times under the cover of relentless downpours. The jungle shifts daily, rivers rise, plains flood, fallen trees redirect movement, and each change demands flexibility. A tiger that fails to adapt risks hunger, territory loss, or confrontation with rivals. Cubs learn to read this dynamic world, practicing ambushes on small prey, testing strength against mudbanks, and shadowing their mothers through the shifting labyrinth of water and vegetation. The apex predator's domain extends beyond brute force. It encompasses strategy, timing, patience, and respect for the environment. tigers, leopards and dholes coexist in a delicate balance, each mastering niches defined by terrain, prey and the ceaseless rhythm of the monsoon. Every chase, every lesson, every splash of rain contributes to a narrative of survival that is as visually striking as it is instructive. As daylight wanes, shadows lengthen across waterlogged plains. The jungle hums with the echoes of pursuit and patience, of power tempered by necessity. Tigers retreat to quiet clearings, cubs nestled at their side, muscles relaxed yet alert. The rain continues, sculpting the world in real time, an endless cycle of life, death and learning. Apex predators are masters of the monsoon, not because they dominate, but because they move with the rhythm of the jungle, attuned to its lessons and alive in every pulse of rain, mud and heartbeat that defines this vibrant wilderness. The monsoon transforms the Indian jungle into a living, breathing ecosystem, each droplet of rain a signal that life must adjust or perish. Rivers surge, leaves glisten, and the air hums with motion as insects emerge in clouds, birds call in piercing symphonies, and herbivores traverse the flooded forest floor in search of tender shoots and safe ground. Every level of the jungle responds to the rains, revealing a delicate web of adaptation where survival is both immediate and cumulative. Plants are the first responders. Orchids bloom along moss-covered trunks, ferns unfurl in rapid succession, and vines cling and twist toward light, exploiting every chance to thrive. Temporary pools form in the soil, attracting insects whose hatching coincides with the monsoon's arrival, creating a cascade of abundance that echoes through the food web. Each growth spurt, each bud, each drop of water is both sustenance and signal, driving the movements of larger creatures that depend on this seasonal abundance. Herbivores respond in kind. Chital, sambar and nilgai graze with urgency, seeking the freshest shoots before they are overtaken by floods. Elephants forage strategically, using their trunks to strip branches while creating pathways for smaller animals in the process. Monkeys and langurs leap between branches, their agility allowing them to exploit fruiting trees and evade predators. Survival here is not solitary. It is collective, a subtle choreography between predator and prey, plant and pollinator, soil and sky. Predators, in turn, adapt their hunting strategies to these dynamic conditions. Tigers shift to hunting near rivers where prey concentrates. Leopards exploit fallen trees, bridging streams, and dholes coordinate attacks along narrow corridors carved by flooding. Even nocturnal hunters adjust, waiting for the cover of rain to mask scent or sound. Every action is calibrated to the environment, a testament to the intelligence and flexibility required to endure the monsoon's extremes. Symbiotic relationships thread the jungle together. Birds perch on deer and langurs, plucking ticks and parasites from fur. Insects pollinate blossoms, ensuring that fruiting trees will sustain herbivores in coming months. Small predators scavenge what larger ones leave behind, returning nutrients to the soil, which in turn nourishes the next generation of plants. Life thrives in interconnected loops, each species simultaneously influencing and depending upon the others, the monsoon acting as both catalyst and regulator. Yet the monsoon is not gentle. Landslides carve new gullies into hillsides, uprooting trees and altering migration routes. Rivers overflow, swallowing trails and forcing animals to improvise new paths. Thunderstorms batter exposed clearings, driving creatures to shelter and testing endurance at every turn. Adaptation is constant. Survival is measured in every decision, every leap, every instinct sharpened by both opportunity and danger. From above, the jungle is a tapestry of motion, muddy rivers snaking between flooded plains, herds navigating their seasonal corridors, tigers moving silently beneath dripping ferns, and birds flitting in coordinated chaos across the canopy. The monsoon shapes not just the physical landscape, but behavior, strategy, and interaction. Life here is relentless, resilient, and astonishingly precise, each organism finding its niche in the pulse of water, wind, and growth. The jungle endures because it is both flexible and interdependent. Every creature, from the tiniest insect to the mightiest tiger, plays a role in sustaining the ecosystem, responding to the monsoon's rhythms with intelligence, instinct, and patience. Survival is not just about predation or grazing. It is about balance, timing, and understanding the complex dance of life that the rains orchestrate. As the monsoon wanes and the jungle settles, its residents carry the lessons forward. Strategies refined, territories adjusted, and populations nurtured. Life pulses onward, adaptive, resilient, and unyielding. And as the waters recede, the forest stands as a monument to endurance, a world where every storm, every flood, every challenge is met with a relentless will to survive. The Indian jungle, lush and teeming with life, does not exist in isolation. Its rivers, forests, and plains intersect with human communities, villages that have coexisted with wildlife for generations. Children play along muddy riverbanks where elephants pass, farmers tend rice paddies bordered by dense jungle, and villagers listen to the thunderous monsoon as they have for centuries, aware that the rains govern both crop and creature. Yet as humanity thrives, the pressures on this delicate ecosystem intensify, and the jungle's resilience is constantly tested. Poaching remains one of the most insidious threats. Tigers, prized for their fur and bones, are hunted illegally despite legal protection. Leopards and other predators sometimes fall victim to retaliation when they stray into farmland or livestock enclosures. The human footprint, roads, settlements, and logging trails fractures territories, isolates populations, and reduces the space available for apex predators to roam. Even as the monsoon brings abundance, the jungle is vulnerable to these incursions, the balance of predator and prey easily disrupted. Deforestation and agriculture compound the threat. Forests are cleared for timber, farming, and development, stripping away canopy and understory alike. Once contiguous corridors that allow elephants, tigers, and smaller mammals to migrate safely are fragmented. Flooded plains, previously natural refugees during the monsoon, are drained for human use, reducing breeding grounds for fish, amphibians, and birds. Each cleared patch and every felled tree subtly shifts the rhythm of the jungle, forcing adaptation under duress rather than by choice. Yet alongside these challenges, conservation efforts illuminate hope. India has established a network of tiger reserves, protected areas where hunting is prohibited and habitat restoration is prioritized. Rangers patrol deep within these forests, monitoring populations, tagging cubs and safeguarding prey species. Wildlife corridors reconnect fragmented habitats, allowing tigers, elephants, and leopards to move between reserves, maintaining genetic diversity and enabling seasonal migrations crucial for survival during the monsoon. Community-led programs also engage villagers, providing education, incentives, and strategies to coexist peacefully with neighboring wildlife. Fishing cat sanctuaries and wetlands preservation initiatives demonstrate that smaller species too can thrive when humans collaborate with nature. Monsoon rains flood marshes and create temporary wetlands, drawing migratory birds and amphibians. With careful protection, these aquatic and semi-aquatic species flourish, creating a balanced ecosystem where predator and prey, herbivore and carnivore can maintain equilibrium. Even insects and pollinators, seemingly minor players, benefit from habitat preservation, ensuring that plants bloom and fruiting trees sustain the jungle's herbivores. The monsoon itself becomes both a challenge and an ally. Flooded trails and swollen rivers restrict access, making poaching more difficult while simultaneously demanding vigilance from conservationists. Landslides and fallen trees can isolate animals, yet trained rangers and local communities work to rescue and monitor displaced wildlife. Education campaigns teach villagers how to minimize human-wildlife conflict, whether by securing livestock, planting buffer crops, or creating safe water sources. The jungle and humanity are learning to coexist, a delicate negotiation where respect, understanding, and shared space are paramount. In some regions, the results are tangible. Tiger populations in reserves like Sundarbans, Bandhavgarh, and Kanha have stabilized or even increased, proof that targeted conservation can succeed even under intense human pressure. Elephants traverse established wildlife corridors safely, avoiding roads and settlements. Local communities increasingly recognize the value of preserving forests, not merely as a source of timber or grazing land, but as a vital part of the ecological web that sustains water, soil, and climate. Still, challenges remain. Illegal logging continues in remote areas. Poaching networks adapt with alarming speed. Climate change is intensifying monsoons and altering water distribution, stressing both humans and wildlife. Conservation is not a static effort. It is a continual response to dynamic pressures requiring vigilance, adaptation, and collaboration. The jungle's survival depends on the ability of people to act as guardians, not just observers of its rhythms. Above the forests, rivers, and floodplains, the monsoon continues its cycle, nourishing, transforming, and testing every living creature. Tigers patrol their territories, elephants move in quiet majesty, birds soar above swollen wetlands, and insects swarm in abundance. In villages bordering the jungle, children watch the rain with awe, elders remember stories of coexistence, and rangers traverse the forest, ensuring that human presence does not extinguish the natural wonders that surround them. The lessons of the monsoon jungle are clear. Life is resilient but fragile. Abundance is fleeting, yet sustainable when respected. Survival is not only a test of strength, but a testament to balance. As humanity navigates its place within this ecosystem, the jungle endures, guided by the guardians who understand that preservation is both responsibility and privilege. The story of India's monsoon forests is ongoing, a living narrative of adaptation, survival, and coexistence. Where humans act as protectors rather than intruders, the jungles thrive. Where caution is abandoned, the delicate web of life frays. Every drop of rain, every rustle of leaves, every footfall of predator and prey alike writes the next chapter in this epic saga. And as the monsoon recedes, the jungle waits, vibrant, alive, and ever ready to awaken once more. As the monsoon begins to ease, the once torrential rains soften to gentle drizzles, leaving rivers to settle into broad, glimmering channels. Streams once swollen with fury now meander lazily through the forest, reflecting the emerald canopy above. Pools glisten like scattered jewels, and the jungle exhales after the intensity of the storms. Every leaf, every vine, and every trunk gleams with lingering moisture, a testament to the power and persistence of the monsoon. Tiger cubs tumble along riverbanks, their wet fur matted but gleaming, playfully swatting at each other and the occasional drifting leaf. They splash in shallow pools, practice stealthy pounces, and chase one another in clumsy arcs that hint at the hunting mastery to come. Their mothers watch silently, muscles relaxed yet alert, ready to intervene, teach and guide. This cycle of learning and play ensures the survival of the species, a ritual as ancient as the jungle itself. Elephants wander through the floodplains, their massive feet leaving deep impressions in mud that will soon harden into permanent memory. Family units move with careful purpose, calves sheltered between adults, trunks brushing leaves and grass to inspect the world around them. Water reflects their slow progress as they pause to drink, bathe and play, their rumbles echoing like thunder rolling softly across the plains. Even in the calm after the storm, their presence embodies strength, endurance, and the enduring rhythm of the jungle. Above, the canopy comes alive in vibrant resurgence. Birds call across the wet treetops, their songs echoing over rivers and flooded clearings. Hornbills glide with slow precision, kingfishers flash with jeweled brilliance, and raptors survey the forest below, talons ready yet patient, waiting for the next opportunity. Monkeys leap and swing between branches, alert and agile, while snakes and small cats maintain the delicate balance of arboreal life. The jungle, from floor to canopy, hums with energy, both subtle and explosive, a living organism reacting, adjusting, and thriving. Insects fill the air with shimmering movement. Dragonflies hover above still pools, cicadas hum in unison, and countless tiny creatures emerge from hiding, taking advantage of the moist environment. Amphibians leap joyfully from leaf to leaf, while fish swirl beneath the river surface, playing out the monsoon's lingering bounty. Every creature, from the smallest beetle to the mightiest predator, participates in a shared symphony of survival, adaptation, and renewal. The monsoon has sculpted the landscape and the lives within it. Territories have been reasserted, hierarchies reinforced, and survival strategies sharpened. Predators move with calculated grace, herbivores graze in abundant fields, and the forest floor teems with new growth. Even the cycles of life and death contribute to the jungle's balance. Fallen trees provide shelter, prey sustains predator, and each season's flooding nourishes the soil for future generations. Human presence, though increasingly interwoven with these landscapes, continues to evolve alongside the jungle. Conservation efforts, village stewardship, and ecological awareness have created pockets where life can flourish unimpeded. Reserves, wildlife corridors, and protected rivers allow tigers, elephants, and countless species to move safely, adapt, and thrive, even as rainfall recedes and dry spells test endurance. The monsoon's retreat signals both an ending and a beginning. Rivers recede, but the water they carried nourishes seeds and seedlings. The rains subside, but the jungle pulses with the energy they brought. Animals continue their cycles of growth, reproduction, and movement, while humans adjust and coexist, aware that this ancient complex ecosystem is as vital to their survival as it is to the wildlife it sustains. From the smallest insect hidden under a fern to the largest tiger patrolling a riverbank, life persists. Every splash, chirp, growl and rumble tells the story of resilience, adaptation and unyielding power. The jungle has weathered storms, floods and human interference alike, and it continues to teach the world about endurance, interdependence and the beauty of living in harmony with nature. As the sun breaks through scattered clouds, casting golden light on dripping leaves and shimmering waters, the jungle breathes, alive and whole. Its creatures, big and small, fierce and timid, move with a rhythm dictated by centuries of survival. The cycle continues, relentless yet harmonious, an eternal testament to life's persistence. And so, as the monsoon retreats, the jungle endures, a testament to life, power, and the eternal rhythm of nature. The Indian jungle, with its tangled forests, swollen rivers, and monsoon-fed plains, is a realm both ancient and delicate. It has endured the cycles of seasons, the relentless pulse of predators and prey, and the constant churn of life. Yet in recent decades, a new force has entered this world: humanity. The relationship is complex, neither wholly destructive nor entirely protective, but marked by a delicate balance between intrusion and guardianship. Conservation efforts have offered glimpses of hope, illuminating what is possible when humans choose to act as protectors rather than exploiters. Tiger reserves, scattered across the subcontinent, from the mangrove labyrinth of Sundarbans to the dense forests of Kanha and Bandhavgarh, have become sanctuaries where apex predators can roam, breed and hunt with reduced interference. These reserves are carefully managed, with rangers patrolling trails, monitoring populations and intervening when conflicts arise. Anti-poaching initiatives have slowed the illegal trade in tiger skins, bones and other parts, giving these majestic animals a fighting chance to reclaim territories once lost. The benefits extend beyond the predators themselves. Eco-tourism programs allow local communities to derive income from preserving rather than exploiting wildlife. Guided jungle safaris, wildlife photography, and responsible tourism have created incentives for villagers to protect forests, observe regulations, and engage in conservation activities. Education campaigns raise awareness about coexistence, teaching people to secure livestock, minimize conflict, and appreciate the intrinsic value of the jungle ecosystem. In areas where such efforts are sustained, tiger populations are stable or even increasing, herds of elephants traverse safe corridors, and biodiversity flourishes. Yet even as these successes inspire hope, they exist alongside persistent threats. Habitat loss continues to gnaw at the edges of protected areas. Forests are cleared for agriculture, logging and urban expansion, fragmenting once contiguous ecosystems. Rivers are diverted or dammed, wetlands drained and floodplains repurposed, disrupting seasonal migrations of herbivores and the hunting patterns of predators. The monsoon, which once carved natural rhythms into the landscape, is increasingly constrained by human infrastructure. Roads, settlements and farmlands crisscross territories, forcing animals into perilous encounters with humans, vehicles and machinery. Pollution adds another layer of challenge. Watercourses that swell with rain also carry chemicals, plastics and sediment from human activity, affecting fish, amphibians and aquatic mammals. Nutrient cycles are disrupted, and the smallest creatures, pollinators, insects and amphibians are impacted first, creating ripples through the entire ecosystem. Even seemingly minor intrusions can magnify into substantial ecological consequences, altering predator-prey dynamics, reducing food availability, and shifting behavioral patterns. Human-wildlife conflict remains a daily reality. Tigers and leopards occasionally enter farmland, drawn by livestock or fruit crops, while elephants trample fields in search of edible vegetation. Fear and frustration can escalate to retaliation, sometimes fatally for both humans and animals. Conservation programs often mitigate these conflicts, using fencing, early warning systems and education, yet the tension persists, a reminder that coexistence is neither automatic nor simple. The monsoon itself interacts with these pressures. Heavy rains can isolate communities, force wildlife into human-dominated spaces, and intensify competition for resources. In such moments, the jungle's resilience is tested alongside human patience, requiring careful management, empathy, and foresight. Successes in this environment demand vigilance, collaboration, and a commitment to long-term thinking. Failure can echo across generations. Despite these challenges, there is reason for optimism. Science, policy, and community engagement have demonstrated that humans can play a positive role. Protected corridors allow migration, seed dispersal, and genetic diversity to flourish. Anti-poaching networks and patrols reduce illegal killings. Community stewardship has strengthened local understanding of ecosystem function, enabling a coexistence that benefits both humans and wildlife. Ecotourism revenues have incentivized forest protection in areas where alternative livelihoods are scarce, proving that conservation and economic development need not be at odds. Still, vigilance is essential. Habitat preservation must continue alongside anti-poaching measures. Infrastructure projects must be planned with wildlife corridors in mind and pollution mitigated before it reaches critical levels. Education programs must reach deeper into rural communities to foster empathy and practical solutions for coexistence. The jungle is resilient, but it is not immune. Its survival depends on a careful balance, one that recognizes humans as both potential intruders and necessary guardians. In the end, the critique of human impact is neither wholly grim nor entirely reassuring. It is a reminder that the Indian jungle is a living, breathing entity, capable of astonishing endurance yet vulnerable to mismanagement. Tigers, elephants, leopards, birds, insects, and plants all persist because of centuries of adaptation, but now survival increasingly depends on human choices. Conservation is not a one-time effort, it is an ongoing responsibility, requiring vigilance, care, and respect. As the monsoon recedes, rivers return to their calmer courses, forests shimmer with renewed growth, and the jungle pulses with life. Here, where humans act as protectors rather than intruders, nature thrives, a testament to the power of conscious stewardship. Yet the lessons remain clear. Intrusion carries consequences, care brings survival. The jungle teaches balance, not only between predator and prey, but between humanity and the wild, a lesson as enduring as the monsoon itself. Beneath the towering trees and roaring rivers, the jungle has its hidden architects, the soil, the roots, and the myriad organisms that escape immediate notice. During the monsoon, these unseen forces come alive, orchestrating the growth and survival of every visible creature above. The rain seeps deep into the earth, saturating layers of soil that teem with life, from burrowing insects to fungi that thread through roots like delicate veins. Each droplet is a messenger, nourishing the underground network that sustains the jungle's complex web. Roots, both massive and minute, absorb water and anchor trees against the monsoon's torrential onslaught. As streams swell and landslides reshape slopes, these roots prevent soil from washing away, holding the forest together literally from the ground up. Fungi and mycorrhizal networks extend beyond roots, facilitating nutrient exchange, feeding trees, shrubs, and flowering plants alike. Orchids cling to branches, ferns stretch toward dappled sunlight, and vines twist in elegant patterns, all made possible by the invisible toil beneath the surface. The soil itself is alive. Earthworms tunnel tirelessly, aerating layers of sediment and recycling organic matter. Microorganisms decompose fallen leaves and dead wood, releasing nutrients back into the system. Bacteria fix nitrogen, preparing it for plants to absorb, and protozoa maintain delicate chemical balances. Every microscopic interaction, every minute shift in pH or moisture has cascading effects. The growth of grass for herbivores, fruiting of trees for monkeys, and the eventual prey available to tigers and leopards. Even animals play their part in shaping this hidden world. Elephants uproot shrubs and trample paths, creating openings for sunlight and water to reach understory plants. Birds scratch the soil, searching for worms and seeds, while wild boars root energetically, mixing nutrients and exposing fertile layers. Predators indirectly influence soil life by regulating herbivore numbers, ensuring vegetation is not overgrazed and allowing root systems to regenerate. The monsoon magnifies all these effects, turning each raindrop into a catalyst for renewal. Pollination, dispersal, and germination are all orchestrated in sync with the rains. Tiny insects ferry pollen across flowers, while heavier rain showers may carry seeds downstream, depositing them in new territories. Fallen fruits attract beetles, crickets, and ants, all of which contribute to decomposition and nutrient cycling. The jungle's invisible engineers, soil microbes, fungi, and invertebrates ensure that every season leaves the forest stronger, more resilient, and ready to support life at every level. The monsoon reveals the intimate link between the visible and the invisible, showing that apex predators and towering trees depend on processes too small to see. Tigers patrol lush undergrowth, elephants wade through nutrient-rich floodplains, and birds soar above thriving canopies, all made possible by the hidden work of the jungle's secret architects. The interplay of soil, water, and unseen life forms creates a foundation that sustains the grandeur and drama observed in every predator-prey encounter, every migration, every arboreal chase. As the rains recede, the jungle above ground flourishes in visible abundance, yet the true continuity of life lies below. The unseen forces ensure that when the next monsoon arrives, the forest will pulse with renewed vigor, ready to sustain another cycle of growth, struggle, and survival. It is a quiet reminder that even in a world dominated by tigers and elephants, the smallest creatures working invisibly beneath the surface shape the destiny of the jungle. As dusk settles, the monsoon jungle transforms. The last rays of sunlight fade and shadows stretch across the forest floor, blurring lines between predator and prey. Life does not pause here, it merely shifts, trading the bright visibility of day for the mystery and peril of night. The jungle's nocturnal residents awaken, emerging with extraordinary senses attuned to darkness, movement, and sound. Bats wheel silently above flooded clearings, their echolocation slicing through the humid air as they hunt mosquitoes and moths. Owls perch on branches, their amber eyes reflecting moonlight as they scan the undergrowth for unsuspecting rodents. Tiny insects, drawn by moisture and the lingering warmth of the day, pulse in swarms, lighting the night with iridescent flashes and the soft hum of wings. Even in darkness, abundance thrives, feeding creatures both small and large. Predators adapt seamlessly to the night. Leopards slink silently across mud-slicked paths, muscles tensed for sudden bursts of speed. Tigers, less constrained by human observation, use darkness as cover, stalking prey through dense vegetation or along riverbanks where reflection and shadow mask their approach. Dholes coordinate in eerie precision, their haunting calls carrying through the jungle as they navigate hunting grounds under the cover of darkness. Each movement is deliberate, every sense heightened, as survival hangs on alertness and skill. Herbivores are equally vigilant. Sambar and chital pause in open glades, listening for the slightest rustle, scenting predators carried by wind and water. Elephants retreat to safer areas, calves tucked between adults for protection. Even small creatures like nocturnal frogs and amphibians follow instinctive rhythms dictated by temperature, humidity, and the threat of predation. The jungle pulses with life, unseen but undeniably present. In the canopy, nocturnal birds and primates take over. Nightjars sweep in silent arcs, while slow lorises move cautiously along branches, feeding on insects and fruit. Snakes and small cats hunt above ground, exploiting every nook and crevice. Raindrops continue to fall softly, dripping from leaves, amplifying the jungle's symphony, a percussion of water, rustling leaves, distant calls, and the quiet tension of predator and prey locked in a nightly dance. The nocturnal jungle reminds us that survival is relentless. Life adapts to both the extremes of the monsoon and the absence of light, balancing stealth with vigilance, hunger with caution. Every rustle, flash, and call contributes to a web of activity that ensures the ecosystem remains vibrant and resilient. Even unseen, these nocturnal actors sustain the food chains, disperse seeds, and pollinate flowers that will bloom with the next sunrise. As the moon arcs high above the forest, the nocturnal pulse slows but never ceases. Shadows recede gradually with approaching dawn. Predators return to hidden dens, herbivores emerge cautiously, and the jungle prepares to transition once more into the brilliance of day. Life after dark is a testament to adaptation, a hidden world that mirrors the intensity, beauty, and complexity of the monsoon jungle itself. But what do you think